This would be Izzy, horse that Pam Thompson and I are partners on till she gets mad at me. That's an inside joke. But Izzy, she's a horse that Pam raised and is, dang, she's a real special horse, and she was in Texas under training for quite a little while and had a lot of trouble. Like when I went there, and man, I got a mess here. I usually try to stay pretty organized with my hackamore and all my stuff, but there. Anyway, when I went to Texas and ended up getting her in Godly, she had a little bit of a reputation there of being, I don't know, the horseshoer said watch her, and anyway, I don't know what the deal was. Okay, this is crazy. It's never there. Whew, might be one of them days, unorganized days, that I try to be organized. So, I got her, and of course, rode her in a snaffle bit, and she'd been in cutting horse training, and had a little bit of an attitude, and I saw like she was kind of known to run off and run down the wall or whatever. I don't know. I just heard little stories. But so I brought her here and just did my deal and went to riding her with a snaffle bit and loose rein, and got along pretty good. She's real spooky. She's bad to run off. Like if you took a hold of her and she got scared, she was going somewhere. So boy, I am having so much trouble this morning. There. So we got along all right. Did some things and just rode her, and she's come along. Like, she never really run off with me. She'd spook and take off, but I didn't bend her or anything like that. I don't do too much of that. Try to get her stopped before it starts, but you know, when a horse spooks, then you bend them and then you're late because they've already spooked and they've already run off. And you can save your life with it, but I could save my life just by riding her. And so then she got better about that, and now she's real good. So I've progressed her, started riding her in a hackamore, and then brought her to the bridle that you saw I put on. And of course, you might say, well, why would you even want to ride in the 2-rein or have a bridle horse or all that? And I've been thinking about that. First of all, it's a tradition that has created the reined cow horse deal. Come on. And but what it really does is it forces you, if you're going to ride a horse in the bridle in a traditional style that progresses a horse to the bridle, then you got to do things right in the snaffle bit, the starting, the snaffle bit, the everything, and the hackamore, and you got to progress just right. So it's a learning process, and it teaches you to be you learn to be a better horseman because of the process. And so I didn't grow up with this tradition of bridle horses. I grew up in Helena, Montana on a couple 100 acres swamp ground and irrigated ground, and here, put your foot back. There you go. And my grandpa, we had all kinds of livestock. We had sheep, we had cattle, we had pigs, and it was a perfect place to grow up, really caring about all animals, livestock. We had dogs, cats, everything, chickens. And so we just rode, and we rode a lot. We saddled our horse every day. First thing in the morning, we'd saddle our horses, my sister and I, and always have a horse around saddled in the barn or in the corral. And we moved cows a lot, not very far, but we moved them a lot. And if we did it horseback. And so I'm just going to take you along with my little morning here, what I do. So I put my cows in the yard last night to let them graze down some of these weeds. You guys can bring them out of there. So I'll just let my dogs bring them out of the shed. So I got a real variety, but no horsemanship. Like my mother, we were in 4-H and and we had horse stuff there and all that, but wasn't a lot of horsemanship there. So don't be mean to my friend there. So we come here, Trace, right there. Away. There, down. That'll do. That's good. So we were horseback all the time, and we'd watch a John Wayne movie or something and try to do what they did on the John Wayne movie, which usually was crazy stuff, jump off of buildings onto our horses and all the fun stuff that kids should be able to do. We'd tie halters and make jockey saddles and try to ride race horses and jump bales and all those fun things that really teach you how to ride, but don't do much for your horsemanship. And we had lots of horses to ride, lots of different horses to ride, because my grandfather was a horse trader, and so we were always getting stuff, and maybe they were a little bit spoiled or something, but anyway, that's how I grew up, but not with any tradition. So as I went along and started getting interested, of course rodeo took me. The next thing was rodeo, and that was great way. And I had a really nice calf roping horse that my grandfather in Idaho got for me. He had an navicular. He was a great calf roping horse that was owned by Neil Arvey, and he had navicular. And so Neil said I could take him, sold him to me like for $200 and some, because that's what I had to spend on a horse. And he gave him to me. And I had Tink is his name, and then my stepsister actually barrel raced on him too. But I went to Bob Simpson's and learned to tie down calves, rope and tie down calves. And I'd go up there a couple nights a week, and that was kind of really the only horse training I really ever had, Bob, and he was great. So then along, I got to working on ranches and doing things, and I got interested. I was starting lots of colts and didn't really know what I was doing, and I was even doing it for the public and driving colts and doing all kinds of stuff. And anyway, then I started going to some clinics. Renee Pipinich was the first clinic I ever went to. She was a reiner in Helena, and Pat Ford, who's a guy that was real interested in horsemanship, and I went to this reining clinic. I was helping the high school rodeo kids and picking up bucking horses and stuff. And so anyway, that was the first exposure. And the thing that really got me is she started teaching us about I don't know what she called it, but getting a horse to give, when you take a hold of his head, to give to you rather than push his nose out. And that was just a whole new concept to me. I remember how fascinating that was to me. It had never dawned on me before. And that So anyway, that's where the progressions come from. And then so I started learning about bridle horses and hackamores and all that. But what I really think it does is it really teaches you to have to go through all the basics and really learn the fundamentals if you really want. Now you can buy a bridle, you can buy a fancy bridle and have one made, or go to the store and buy one. And Todd Hansen actually built this one, and you can do that and just hang it in a horse's mouth, and it'll look pretty, and you can look like a buckaroo and a Nevada guy and have a flat brim hat and a long rope. But unless you have the fundamentals in practice, none of those tools, your long rope, your slick horn, or your horse in the California tradition, it's not going to be authentic and real. So we're going to trot down here and get my horses. So that's what I think this really does, and that's what stockmanship or horsemanship or all those things. See, make sure her head's right there. Good. I don't mind her head a little higher. I don't want it low in the bridle, but I don't want it nose out. So that's why I think all these things, whether you're English or Western or rodeo or whatever, you've got to really find the tradition that works for you. Come on, Miz. Come on. and really try to refine and learn as much about that to get you better at what you want to do. And then you can become a great stockman or horseman or whatever it is you want. And they're all kind of the same. So to have a horse in the bridle, first of all, they can't want to run off. So I had to get her over that. And then they have to, have all their basic fundamentals. Take a lead, right or left, stop, turn around, all those things. And then you can progress them as fast as you want. So she was so handy from all the training she'd had. She'd had lots of training in the arena with the cutting horse and the cow horse family, and but hadn't been outside much. So it was real easy once I got her good. And I think probably gathering horses or jingling my horses in, which I do every morning, take them in, take them out, real traditional ranch thing. And I did this since I was a kid. We got the horses in. I might have done it afoot, but I got my horses in every morning, and the horse herds always stayed in the corral during the day and out at night. So they didn't get too fat, they didn't eat too much grass and all that stuff. So that's the tradition. So with Izzy, by taking her out and gathering horses on her and jingling horses, we'll call it, then she, see, there's still that spookiness. She don't know about this electric fence. All right, I'll see if I can get it. It's not hot, so I'll see if I can get it without getting off. There might be a big fast move here. Oh, who tied that knot? That'd be me. So she's gotten real good, so I'll just take you along when we get these horses and show you. So with jingling horses, this is a pretty boggy little mud hole right here. She can walk on water. It's a lot better than it used to be. So one thing about going and getting horses and getting them after about 2 days of going out and jingling horses in, they get real straight because they know they're going out to find the horses. And so what that does is really makes a horse straight and forward. And then I've been on lots of trail rides and things on these big trail rides, and people A lot of people really have trouble with their horses when they get in a crowd. Yikes, I almost fell off. So, see, she still will spook once in a while. So, she is fast. So, oh, that was funny. I wasn't thinking about riding. So, I guess she still will spook. But I didn't hang on her head. But the people that, their horses just can't get their feet still, and they just go crazy because of all that energy, and they've never. So with her, I can bring these horses in with a hackamore or whatever and not have her running off. She might spook, but she won't run off. So now I'll get her mine back with me here. And it's really good for these horses that you bring them into. They learn to follow different speeds and all those things. And I like to, you gotta, it helps your mind. You make sure you got all your horses. So Rocky's missing this morning because he's in the corral. He stayed in last night. That's the one I took him out on. And I want to get these guys, they always bug that poor mule. I want him to come up to a trot and be able to pick him up to a trot and maintain that trot. But you can see she can go on a loose rein and just trot along with him like it's no big deal. I can ask her to come back to a walk. She'll come back to a walk, loose rein, right back up to trot, and it's not like she's trying to run off to keep up with these horses. And that to me is really a great, especially for a horse like her that really wanted to go. I think the horses split on me this morning. That slows them down. When horses or cattle or sheep split, the other horses know it, and it doesn't keep the movement going like it should. So come on, Junior. So I'll get them all back together and I'll ask them to trot across this after they get through the mud hole. We'll trot them on in, and hopefully she'll be on a loose rein. Whoop, 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 whoop. You're gonna get your butt whipped. Where are you going, Tommy? Okay, I'm leaving you. You're gonna get left. He'll come. I'd rather go get these guys to trot in than mess with that little fart. Whoa. Okay, there we go. See, they're kind of pretty good to trot. They understand. They're almost to a lope. Some of them are. But she's real calm and easy. And of course the 2-rein, I don't have anything touching her with my bridle. It's all with the hackamore. And I'm really convinced that a bridle horse needs to be ridden with the seat and with your legs. Mostly with your seat and your legs, and then your bridle just keeps them in balance and soft in the face. And that's why you would use your legs a lot and get your horses really good to ride with your legs in the snaffle and the hackamore. Start out with the first ride, getting them follow your body feel and your body position to turn, stop, back up, whatever. And then it's so much less like here, I'll just sit down and it'll take very little with my reins to bring her back to the walk. The other thing with the horses is the draw for them to follow is real strong, so you gotta you got to be careful at first, because you'll teach them to ignore your legs. So, like when I'm bringing the horses in, I'll use my reins a little bit more. When I'm walking back from taking the horses out or walking out, I'll try to use my legs exclusively and get the horses really thinking about my body and my legs. But with the horses, you'll get them to where they ignore them because their mind is too much on the other horses, if that makes any sense. So there's so many good things that happen when you saddle a horse in the first thing in the morning, and bring them in, and lots of things happen for these horses that is good that I'm bringing. But it's such a great ride, and I just can't, if you're in the business of making horses or trying to get horses better, becoming better stockmen, I cannot understand starting a four-wheeler up and bringing horses in so that you can ride the horses for the day. Spend the day riding horses. This is the oh, that mule is aggravating. He's not as aggravating as his owner, but he's close. That's funny. But all these things are really good opportunities. Like, I get aggravated at him, get aggravated at that colt for going out, but really those are just opportunities to get her better, or whatever horse I am riding better. Oh, and there's Scooter. That's Mace's horse. Okay, Max, I'm over you too. So this will be good. I'll take these guys in. Tommy, you gotta go. Mace will probably be mad at me.